From dealing with the turbulences of her early stardom, from Game of Thrones, to marrying young and to a famous person, this beautiful young woman has been through a lot in the past decade.
He's the one who lays traps.
And that's the tape.
Now, for those of you who are lost and need some background on this issue before we proceed, Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas were engaged for 2 years, got married in 2019, and they have 2 daughters. And Joe Jonas recently filed for divorce in the beginning of September, which is what made this whole story go viral, because the way he did things... And oh boy was he mistaken when he thought the internet would side with him.
Girl, we only liked him because you did.
There's a lot of manipulation, shitty behavior, and lawsuits in the story, so I had to take a break from my evergreen type of content. These videos over here, in case you missed them, and make a video on all the ways Joe Jonas did Sophie wrong. Kinda like a similar idea from my other video, all the times Ned Fulmer did Aria wrong, because I can see you guys really like that video, so I'm making a similar one. Maybe we're gonna learn something from this, or maybe we're gonna have a laugh together by roasting this man, because he seems to also deserve the shaming for the way he treated Sophie.
Sophie bought chairs that were too tall so his little legs couldn't touch the ground.
Now you've gone too far, okay? A Little Bit Longer is both my favorite album and it's what Sophie wishes Joe's was.
Hey, easy.
Winter is coming, but Sophie, not so much.
But before we proceed, take a look at this graph. How about we try making it a bit more balanced by hitting the subscribe button, please? If you enjoy cheesy-ass edits and rants about viral stories and internet things. Right, so let's try to go over it on a chronological order. Not being a supportive husband.
The biggest challenge, and I've had it for the longest out of all my mental health problems, is my depression. I've suffered with depression for about 5 or 6 years now, and the biggest challenge is just for me getting out of bed and getting out of the house.
Yeah.
And like learning to love yourself is the biggest challenge.
Now, after getting married in 2018, Sophie had their first daughter in 2020, and their second daughter was born last year in 2022. Now, there are multiple reports online saying that Joe Jonas was not being a supportive husband during the postpartum period, and he was not respecting her mental health struggles.
According to multiple sources, Joe was pressuring Sophie to attend these industry events with him and even talk to other people, expressing how annoyed he was when she didn't attend. Sophie sometimes would give in and go to these events with Joe. However, she allegedly also expressed discomfort as she did not want to be seen in public and further be photographed. And if you already think Joe is crossing boundaries, you are absolutely right. Joe allegedly did all of this after his wife gave birth to their second child together back in 2022.
Of course, she was feeling extra self-conscious about getting out of the house, you know, and having people tear her apart on the internet about her body and what she's doing with the kid. You know how it is. The internet sucks sometimes. As someone who suffered with anxiety and depression during my postpartum period, hearing this pains me so much, because he should have been more understanding and more supportive towards her mental health, you know, towards all the struggles and changes women go through every time they have kids.
If she doesn't want to go out, let her be.
So yeah, Joe Jonas doesn't get a star for Husband of the Year. Well, now ex-husband. After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. Mutually and amicably, really? Filed for divorce and didn't let her know.
Sophie didn't find out about the divorce until 4 days later from the media. Yeah!
Now, this one was absurd, and people went wild on the internet as soon as they heard that Joe Jonas had filed for divorce from Sophie Turner, and she found out with the media, like the rest of us.
The breakdown of the parties' marriage happened very suddenly. The parties had an argument on August 15th, 2023. On or about September 1st, the father filed a divorce case against the mother in Florida. On or about September 5th, the mother found out through the media that the father had filed for divorce.
And in case you don't know, since May, I believe this year, she has been in the UK shooting a new series. She's a working mama. And Joe Jonas was on tour with the daughters, you know, taking care of them, while Sophie was in the UK recording. So yeah, filing for divorce and not letting her know is just a dick move, right? But I mean, I was really surprised. He did broke up with Taylor Swift via a 27-second voicemail. So... Now, the next point is throwing Sophie under the bus during the divorce.
As for why Joe filed for divorce, a source with direct knowledge tells us she likes to party, he likes to stay at home. They have very different lifestyles.
We have spoken to multiple sources on Joe's side who said, obviously, she was a party girl, he liked to stay at home.
As seen in a recent video at a rap party for a project she was working on.
I said this is
Joe Jonas here tried to paint Sophie as an irresponsible mother, saying that she was partying too much and he just wanted to be a homebody, which by the way directly contradicts what they said in an interview during the pandemic.
Joe's he's a real social butterfly, so I struggle to kind of lock him down have him just spend time with me. So it's it's like prison for him, but it's great for me.
Who's the homebody in the relationship?
But okay, people can change, right? It's been like 3 years since then. But again, another dick move, because she's in the UK working and she doesn't have her kids around. Most people would go out and socialize, you know, after day's work. So why are you trying to say that she's partying too much and that's become a problem?
He gets drunk on stage and he may be a homebody, but he gets drunk at home.
There is slight shaming here going on. There's a lot of like inside sources are saying that she just wants to go out and party and she doesn't want to take care of her children and he's heard this and this about her, but it's all like inside sources, and these inside sources seem to be someone related to Joe Jonas or like Joe Jonas's PR team or Joe Jonas himself.
Yeah, the internet wasn't having any of it.
Imagine letting your PR team absolutely slander the mother of your children, using the bad mommy narrative on Sophie in 2023, when most of your fans are girls and women. Isn't a good look, babe.
So yeah, for him to be trying to portray her as a bad mom just because she's partying is like...
You're a male chauvinist, sexist pig.
Now, apparently, inside sources, I mean, do we really trust inside sources, said that he filed for divorce suddenly because he saw something on the ring camera of their home or whatever that made him realize that the marriage was over. And maybe that's true, I don't know. But it seems like just an excuse to, like, you know, make this sudden move seems more plausible and more acceptable.
And that's true.
Using their daughters as props. So yeah, after the divorce announcement and the reasons why, you know, he decided to divorce Sophie, Joe Jonas decided to use his daughters as props for a PR stunt to portray him as daddy of the year, and that didn't go well at all.
Picture Joe Jonas ditches wedding ring as he's seen for the first time with daughters after divorce filing from Sophie Turner.
Joe was joined by a woman who appeared to be a nanny as they had breakfast at Sweet Butter Kitchen in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles. During the outing, Joe carried the older child, while the unidentified woman carried the younger one.
It was known that Sophie didn't want their daughters to be in the public eye. So as soon as you file for divorce, and when your wife is not present, you decide to take your daughters out in public, completely disregarding the other parents' wishes.
I know this was staged because this is notoriously the coffee house you go to if you want to be seen.
The brunch with the nanny and the two kids, dad of the year, was so staged to me. It's also hilarious that he needs a nanny to take his kids to get food.
I want to believe, okay, that is expected from most parents, responsible parents, to prioritize their kids' well-being during a divorce. But I guess for Joe Jonas, it was more important to get back at Sophie for whatever reason that we don't know, out of spite. Going back on his promise to move to the UK.
Sophie Turner has been very vocal about her desire to move to the UK, which is where she's originally from. Speaking with LUK in 2022, she said, "I miss England so much. The people, the attitude, everything. I'm slowly dragging my husband back. I really love living in America, but for my mental health, I have to be around my friends and my family."
Apparently, Sophie and Joe have been discussing in advance making the UK their forever home, and they have been living in the UK most of the time, right? Their older daughter is already enrolled in school, you know, they go to activities, like the UK is their home, although right now they're like, you know, in the US.
In court documents obtained by Page Six, the 27-year-old actress revealed a note Joe allegedly wrote to persuade a homeowner in Oxford, England, to sell them their property.
So they were already renting a house over there, and there were discussions of buying a new home in the UK.
When my wife and I decided we were going to spend more time in the UK and search for a permanent home, our daughter expressed 3 unwavering requirements: having chickens, a pony, and a windy house. While many of the houses we viewed met this criteria, the moment we turned the corner and caught sight of the charming blue shutters adorning, redacted, we experienced a sense of magic unlike anything we had felt before. We could tell that your family have truly loved living here, and we can envision our children growing up here and making this our forever home.
The letter reportedly worked, with Page Six reporting the homeowner accepted the offer from Sophie and Joe on July 7th, 2 months before the singer filed for divorce.
So yeah, they were already in discussions. It was already like a settled thing that they will be moving to the UK in December of this year. And now apparently Joe Jonas was like, yeah, you know what? So when Joe Jonas decided to backtrack on, you know, their agreement, she decided to file a lawsuit.
The father incorrectly claims in his divorce filings that the children have resided in Florida for the 6 months prior to the filing on the father's Florida case. The mother reiterated the parties' agreed plan for the children to return home to England that week. The father has possession of the children's passports. He refuses to return the passports to the mother and refuses to send the children home to England with the mother. In an ongoing custody battle with the divorce, I could absolutely see his lawyers being like, if the children go to England, getting them back is harder. I could also see her lawyers saying, if the children were supposed to return to England, they are not pawns in a divorce. You should continue on with what everyone had planned, and the children should be allowed to leave to England, which is how we end up with this petition being filed in New York federal court, because everyone seems to still be in New York.
I hope both of them will make decisions, considering what's best for the kids, stable life for the kids. Because honestly, I don't know about you, but I don't know how it would work with like constantly moving between two countries to be with both parents. Either one of them will have to give up and move to stay close to the kids, wherever the kids are gonna end up, which I hope is in the UK.
Joe's team also shared a plea for privacy on behalf of the singer, adding his wishes that Sophie reconsider her harsh legal position and move forward in a more constructive and private manner.
Now, ain't that convenient, huh? Joe Jonas wanting to keep things private now that the tables have turned and he's being painted as the bad guy. He was the one who didn't really keep things private from the beginning, right? Who was stirring shit up about the mother of his children just to make him look better during the divorce.
His only concern is the well-being of his children.
Right. After using his daughters to make himself look like the best daddy in the world. Wow, this man. And amid this difficult situation, Sophie, needed some extra help, some extra love from her friends. And who better to give that girls supporting girls love than Taylor Swift?
Sophie Turner staying quiet and classy throughout this whole thing, and then going out for margs with Taylor Swift, dropping a lawsuit within 48 hours is the real Queen's Gambit.
Of course, these points I mentioned are based on my opinion, okay? This is all speculation. Do not come for me legally. Thanks so much for being here, and appreciate you watching until the end. And now you can go ahead and click on either one of these videos over here. YouTube thinks you might like them, and I hope you do. And I'll see you over there. By the way, what do you think of my makeup? I feel weird, but yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye, love you.